Hey, how's it going, guys? I just wanted to make a quick video today to break down what we know so far about the new Paladins Battlegrounds, where it's at, where it's going, and all the speculation we've received so far for when it releases in a couple of weeks. But before we get started, I'll just quickly break down the story so far for those of you who may be unaware of what has happened recently in Paladins and exactly where Paladins Battlegrounds has disappeared off to since the last few updates to the game. So as you guys may know, Paladins Battlegrounds was the 100 player PvP Battle Royale mode similar to PUBG and Fortnite. It involved choosing a champion out of a random pool of 8 champions and dropping into the island where you will explore the lands, looting and basically trying to survive, trying to stay away from the incoming fog. So the game mode was released within the Paladins main client in alpha state within OB66. However, a day or two later, after the release of OB66, Hi-Rez decided to pull a 180 on the game mode, and they decided to pull the plug on the game mode until a later date. So they put out a statement and a video as to why they decided to remove the game mode from the full game. My personal speculation is that upon releasing it in OB66, they actually decided through internal testing to already remove Paladins Battlegrounds from the main client. However, they still decided to release it, I think maybe to avoid broken promises to the community that it would arrive in OB66. The reasoning they provided for removing it from the game is that they wanted to deliver the best version of Paladins Battlegrounds that they can, while continuing to keep the main rest of the Paladins game as awesome as possible. So in other words, they wanted to properly design and balance the Battle Royale mode separate to the normal Siege mode in Paladins, and they came to the conclusion that to be able to do that, they're gonna have to split the game into 2 separate clients to allow them to balance the game properly. So in a statement from Hi-Rez Chris, he also states that in order to make Battlegrounds great and amazing, it goes in conflict with the things that will make the OG version of Paladins great. He also goes on to mention that they will produce greater results with having separate teams working on the 2 separate games. So moving on to the overall feedback from the community after the alpha, in general it was quite positive with regards to the feedback around the looting system, the redesign of the maps and the overall gameplay. I previously had the chance to also test it out on PC, and I would say that it was quite enjoyable. I really enjoyed the changes they made to the world map and the different biomes that they introduced, and I also really liked the way they introduced game mechanics around downing players into chickens. At the same time, many players, including myself, felt that the gameplay kind of felt quite shallow, and it was somewhat being held back due to the layering of the Battle Royale genre on top of the pre-existing Paladins foundation. So for this reason, some matches you might see champions feeling OP compared to others, and occasionally you'd see teams stacking champions such as 4 Grovers and 4 Kinesses for the long range, whereas other champions such as Terminus might struggle. So with Paladins Battlegrounds removed shortly after OB66, they've stated that it will return in some form or another in the future. From what we currently know, Hi-Rez team is currently still hard at work in development, doing internal testing of a new version of the game mode, and over the next few weeks aggressive changes are constantly being made to what we've experienced so far in OB66, and both Hi-Rez Chris and Erez have come out to the public to provide more details. So what we know from Hi-Rez Chris is the following. Internally, the codename for the new changes to Battlegrounds has been YOLO, which apparently gives an indication of what lies ahead for us. The game will re-release in a completely separate client under a different name, and from a recent leak it has been found out that Hi-Rez has recently trademarked the name Realm Royale. So this is rather interesting because if they decided to drop the Paladins part of the name, it may also be possible that they will be introducing smite champions or abilities within the game. So public testing of the new alpha mode is also due to start soon, apparently. Through a later developer insight with Hi-Rez as a guest speaker to talk about the new game mode, he mentioned a very different style of game from what we've already seen, which will follow more closely to traditional battle royale genre type games. So some of the things that he's mentioned are squads will now skydive from the air rather than zeppelin in, which was apparently something requested by the community. So similar to Fortnite or PUBG where you'd skydive from like a battle bus or a plane, we'll probably be seeing something similar to that once Realm Royale releases. So Paladins champions will no longer be in the game as playable characters, only their weapons and abilities may be obtained. This creates an even playing field for all players to begin with a basic human character who has the ability to loot weapons and abilities over time in the game world. The looting system will probably also be overhauled for a new inventory system to compensate for the changes to weapon pickups and abilities. So I think maybe the way that we have 4 abilities now per character, that may still be something in the Realm Royale, but I think as we pick up abilities in the world, we'll be able to kind of choose our 4 abilities that we want for that game. The map will apparently still be similar to the one that was featured in Paladins Battlegrounds, but with visual updates. However, I think when we see the map again, it will be quite different once again, with new areas and biomes and things like that. They also said that players will be able to have multiple weapons at one time. So for example, a buck shotgun and a Kinesa sniper rifle. Weapons and abilities will have different stats also from the base Paladins game to work within the Battle Royale large map style. The game will be free to play with no pay to win, and apparently it'll be 100% cosmetic. So abilities such as stealth mechanics have also been confirmed to be in the new game, and it will focus a lot on building your own class as you play. The chickening system will also remain for when you are downed. So from the sounds of it, Realm Royale is becoming more of a traditional battle royale style game, similar to Fortnite, although rather than building forts, you'd have something that's more around collecting weapons and abilities that exist in Paladins or Smite, and having those integrated into the game to improve your character over time. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys all next time.